Hello again, it's your friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley, back for another episode of the History of Comics podcast. This time, with another edition of the classics, as we're following up with the Sin City, The Hard Goodbye, with what I think is actually the best entry in the Sin City series, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, by Frank Miller, which is, of course, a follow-up to The Hard Goodbye, this time telling a different story in which it stars Dwight, a private detective who finds himself thrown back into a new mystery when his old love, Ava, shows up. And he finds himself going to extreme lengths to help her, only for things that naturally not be what it seems. This is honestly Frank Miller's absolute best. The art is more refined here and brilliant, and especially with the black and white inking that looks absolutely gorgeous, especially in the depiction of Ava, who is the ultimate femme fatale in every way imaginable. This is where Sin City really starts to form, is that you get a femme fatale, and also starts to expand more of the Sin City itself, especially when Dwight seeks out some new allies who become classic characters, and then you see some more recurring characters, and for the record, Marv even shows up in the earlier issues, which is really cool. Yeah, and it says all in all, this is a Sin City at its peak, and you'll have a bunch of good stories afterwards. But yeah, this is so good. Released from 1993 to 1994, it ended up winning the Eisner for Best Limited Series. It was that good. Yeah, so Frank Miller was at his peak here. Fantastic storytelling, and it's pure Frank Miller too. No restrictions. Very mature storyline, and definitely worth checking out. So yes, you're looking for another great crime noir classic. You can't go wrong with Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, because that is a true classic.
My name is Mark McCrae, and I'm the author of The Best Saturdays of Our Lives.
I'm Dan Klink, co-host of the Best Saturdays of Our Lives podcast.
The Best Saturdays of Our Lives features programming trends from the 1966 television season all the way through the last hurrah of the early digital age of the 1990s.
On the show, if it's animated, we talk about it.
Order your signed copy today at tbsool.com.
And listen to the podcast at esonetwork.com and all podcast platforms.
Now it is November 10th, 2022, time for my favorite comic of the week, Skull Kicker's Super Special by Jim Zub and Edwin Huang, which is a one-shot fantasy series based on the Skull Kicker series from 10 years ago. In fact, they called it the 10th anniversary special, in which the three main characters, Ralph Copperhead, a dwarf, Rex Morati, a gun-wielding human, and Kusai, a red-headed elf, infiltrate basically what seems like a Hogwarts magic school because there's apparently some evil demons in line, and to take them out, only for things not to go as planned to very hilarious effect. I was not familiar with the Skull Kicker series. I heard about this special from a different podcast, Comic Book Club. Fantastic podcast if you want to listen to it for comic book reviews and so forth. But I decided to go ahead and check this out, and it is a great surprise. Zub does a great job with the characters, especially Ralph and Rex, who, despite the fact they hate magic, are really good as magical students, which is done to hilarious effect. Especially Kusai, who seems to act like she's smarter than the other two, but ends up having to be saved with them more than once. So it's just a great, fun fantasy series. Matched beautifully by Huang's great art, which has a nice manga feel to it, which is perfect for this fantasy comedy setting. So yeah, you're looking for something a little different, especially in the fantasy genre, check out the Skull Kicker Super Special, which is a great read by itself, but also makes me want to go back and revisit the rest of the series if it's as good as this one right here. And with that, I'll conclude this episode of the Classics. Join me again next week for another edition, most likely keeping up with the Sin City series for so far. But until then, go and enjoy yourself a good comic book. And if you can't, go and pick up Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, because that is a true classic.